is customer discovery and how did it help you guys?
Yeah, so the lean methodology was completely new to us going into the accelerator. There's two different types of accelerators. One kind is very hands-off, and it's really meant for more experienced entrepreneurs or people that know how to build a startup. Then on the other hand, you have the accelerator I went to, which was very hands-on, and the first third of the program was all surrounded around education. It was almost like an entrepreneurial course, crash course, and so they taught us the basics between lean methodology, and at its simplest, I think that is, don't build or produce anything that your customers don't see value in and you can ultimately make money from. Try to do customer discovery first. And what customer discovery is just asking the people that would buy your thing a series of questions, and usually the interviews took us about 15 minutes, and just have like a set of 10 or 15 pre-populated questions. So for us, it would be, how do you go about finding a student loan? Or do you feel financial aid offices lack in any areas? So just an array of questions that would help us better create a product that suits their needs. And we actually had a great tool. I think it was called Lean Launch Lab. It's like $5 a month, and it helps you use the business model canvas and really keep track of your customer discovery interviews, your theories about what your customer values. And so I recommend that tool to any new startup, especially high school students or college students. I've even started showing that to.
There seems to be a great opportunity to partner with higher ed institutions.
Yeah.
Because we have customers that use this service.
We reach out to as many financial aid offices as we can, and high schools. Financial aid offices are a tough nut to crack. They have to walk in a very straight line, and they have a lot of regulation that they have to adhere to just because of past issues. And so sometimes a financial aid office won't even talk to you. They'll say, hey, I can't even talk to you. I have to tell my student that they need to go online to find a student loan. I can't even tell them which lender to go to. Some financial aid offices are very willing to work with you, but finding them is tough. It takes a lot of time. So anybody that you might know within higher ed, financial education that could and would be willing to push LendEDU's resources, which I think are really helpful to students. We'd always be willing to try to set those talks up. As far as high schools go, they're so much better than colleges. High school guidance counselors are so much more responsive to what we have to offer and our resources and tools. And we're working with about 50 high schools now that are distributing our resources, whether it be on their website or just face-to-face. So we're trying to put that network in place at the high school level as well.
What's your customer base look like now? Are you really in a strong base?
Yeah, so we launched with student loan refinance back in November. We really didn't put things in the marketing mode until January and February. So we've had about over 2 months of now pushing people through our marketing funnel. At least at the start, we're having to pay for our customers. And we've only been marketing the student loan refinance product, primarily because the newly originated in-school student loan product is off-season. It's technically, or it has the majority of its volume focused for the summer months, so June, July, August, September. So whereas student loan refi is year-round. So we just came into the business at a time where we needed to focus on student loan refi, and also lenders pay a lot more for student loan refi than they do with newly originated loans. So we started with student loan refi, and we've have a lot of volume come to the site, about like 60 million in total volume that's gone through LendEDU. So people are using it, and we're seeing some successes, but it's still a learning game for us. We play a math game. It's all about what we can acquire a user for and what we can sell a user for, a lead. So what we can acquire a lead for and sell a lead for. So we just have to get those numbers right on the math game. That's what we're working on right now.
LendingTree, for example, is not on here. They don't do those types of loans. What prevents them from coming in and disrupting this market?
Yeah, so LendingTree is very big. I think they have a statistic on their website that says they control 69% of online mortgage applications start at LendingTree, which is crazy to think. That's a monopoly. As far as LendingTree's focus on education finance, they haven't focused too much on the student loan industry. From the start, we were like, why hasn't anyone done this? That was like the biggest question. And we talked with people and they're like, why hasn't anyone done this? And then we were like, we're not sure. And they're like, is that an issue? And we're like, we're not sure. So it's always been a fear. And we launched our product before anybody else was even close to us. As far as LendingTree goes, they're starting to put attention to student loans, but their product is not comparable to ours or our competitors. In that LendingTree, as do these guys, show as low as this to as high as this. So still little value creation for the borrower. That's not to say LendingTree doesn't have big things planned. I analyze our competitors religiously, and the student loan industry is a very small one. So we hear what people are doing, and I'm sure they hear what we're doing, but LendingTree at least is behind today. Yeah.
They always a fear when you get online and they ask you for your social security number.
Yep.
That's a scary thing. What are you guys doing to ensure security of the data and ongoing security? Because the hackers are getting more and more creative. Many of them are international now. And so what are you guys doing to be diligent in regards to protecting our information?
So first off, industry standard encryption across the board. Pretty much every website you go to these days, whether it be Wells Fargo or Target.com, is going to have the same level of encryption. It's just industry standard. We have it too. So that's good. As far as like handling social security number, we actually don't save social security number. We don't keep it in our database. So if someone were to get into LendEDU, they could not find social security number. In real time, we actually pass information to the credit bureaus, and in real time, we retrieve information. And he got a 200-page Microsoft Word document, single space, that told him how to connect. And there was no examples. And so he had to, over the course of a month and a half, figure this out and then connect. And part of that process was, they verified that our servers were secure. They had their own safety standards and checklists that we needed to pass. So I think, and I'm not a technical guy, but I can tell you that we are doing our best to keep customer